Hello and welcome to your top 5. And we are here today talking about reframe. This is today's top 5 is all about how to reframe the situation you have at hand. Because let's be honest, things happen and they suck. Maybe you had this area where you had some guilt or some shame or disdain from something that took place in life. And you're like, man, it didn't work out. Or you look back on your year and go, this didn't go the way I wanted to. So I feel less than, I feel like bad and negative. And what we do is we enter the world with that emotion. But you can reframe this. If you reframe it, it's a vast different change for how you proceed from this moment. So today is the top 5 ways to reframe moving forward from last week's review. So let's get into this right now. Number 1 is you must separate guilt from shame. Now, shame is one thing. I am bad. Guilt is I did bad. And what happens is sometimes what I did bad makes me think I am bad. You know what I mean? So the idea is you're not bad. There's nothing wrong with you. But the reality is if you don't take a look at your life and go, hey, this took place. Am I framing it in a way of feeling bad? Or could I do better? The reframe is interesting because if I can just think about, okay, this thing took place, I'm not a bad person. I may feel guilty, but I'm not shameful because that thing didn't do proper outcomes. It didn't do what I wanted to do. Or maybe I made a mistake, and mistakes are natural. We all make mistakes, but you've got to step in and go, hey, do I have mom guilt? Am I spending too much time on my phone while I'm at a soccer game? Do I have dad guilt, right? These are guiltful things. You are not bad. There's nothing wrong with you. Reframe it and go, no, I might have done the wrong thing. I didn't do the proper thing, but you are not bad. Now, number 2 is practicing vulnerability. That's how we do the first part in the first place, right? It's hard to get to the point of separating guilt from shame if I'm not vulnerable with myself. Give yourself some grace. You're human. You're imperfect by nature, right? The idea is to go, hey, I got to be okay of being vulnerable enough to accept that I'm not perfect. Analyze what's going on, accept where you need to do some work, and be vulnerable with it. Be open to it. Be okay with being better. Because if you do not give yourself permission to suck, you'll never give yourself permission to improve. You'll feel shameful. So give yourself that permission. Go, you know what? I can be better, and you'll progress differently. Number 3 is reframing failure. Now, I have this interesting structure of what I teach people. It's 6 levels of failure. Abject, end of the world, structural. It's hard. Some big process took place, but I can fix it. Glorious, smoking a cigarette, smoking it, letting it all burn, right? Glorious failure. Then I have the learning line, a line above. I don't learn anything up here. The learning line, I learn below. Common failure, why the apology was created. Version failure, this version didn't do great. I can make a better version. Or predictable failure. You know what? This is probably going to go bad. I'm just going to go and do it and see what happens and learn. A lot of us have a version or a structural failure happen and we go, I'm bad. I'm unlovable. Relationship fell apart. I got fired. I'm not good as a worker. No, that version of you in the relationship wasn't great. The job you took on, you should be predictable failure because everything's probably going to fail at some point, but be addicted and identify with the efforts. Therefore, you can reframe any failure and find the lesson. It's fuel to succeed later on. Reframe your failures. Then, number 4, challenge the change. So when we do is we step into life and we look back over this year and we go, hey, did something happen as a challenge, right? And I got stuck. Or did something want to change me and I just let it change me, right? In a negative way. You have to challenge what's coming up change-wise. Challenge, should I do this? Should I not do this? This thing is changing. Let me challenge that differently and not just go with the flow, but take control, right? Because life, you all heard about it, the most consistent thing in life is change. As things are changing, are you challenging that change in a direction you want to go, that you choose to go? Because if you let it all just happen, your life is then happening to you and not for you. Take back control, challenge the change at hand, and it'll be a complete different thing. Then what you do is all the stuff we're talking about, it's all lessons. 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's lessons I learn, I see. Then are you applying the new lessons so they stick in your life? Right? Because a lot of us, we learn lessons. Common sense isn't always common practice. My man, Brendan Burchard says this all the time. We learn the lessons. It's common sense. We don't apply it as common practice. You've got to go back and say, am I doing this so it sticks? It becomes my normalcy. I shift into that, and now it becomes what I do naturally and normally, and I don't have any more issues. So that is your top 5 ways to reframe what's going on in life so you can create amazing momentum, have incredible power, and make shift happen.